What's up, my friends? Welcome to Hell No Podcast. I am Beto Gudiño. I am a pastor here in Costa Mesa, California. And I just want to go over some thoughts that have been in my mind. And I had this weird dream. After that weird dream, I woke up and I started thinking of the Avengers. And I started thinking of God and creation. The cross is not in the past. The cross is always the future. If you want to live, you must deny yourself daily. These are the words of Jesus. So I was thinking of the Avengers Endgame, the snap of a finger and how everybody vanishes. And remember what Doctor Strange was doing? He saw all the possible outcomes and he gave the green stone, the time stone? This was the way they were gonna win. This was the one possible outcome out of the whatever millions. I was thinking that God chose humanity and he saw all the possible outcomes. So a lot of people can't get past Genesis and creationism and things like that. If God is so good, then why he didn't just create a different universe in which we are just good people all the time? And I think God saw all the possible outcomes and he chose humanity. I mean, when I read Genesis and whatever you think of Genesis, whether it says that God used this phrase, let us create man in our image. And to me, that's an act of choice. It's an act of thought. In that act of thought, he's creating humanity. He's already choosing Jesus. And I think from the beginning, that's why John, one of the Gospels, says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. God saw the possible outcomes. Think of the temptation of Jesus in the desert. What would have happened if he would have said yes to Satan? Remember the temptations? I mean, if Jesus is God, what happens if he says yes to this temptation? Is that the end of the universe? Or that's create an alternate reality where Satan rules? Because in one of the temptations, he offers all these kingdoms. Think of Jesus' prayer on Gethsemane. If it is possible, let this cup pass from me. If there's any other way, kind of like Doctor Strange, if there's any other way in which I don't have to sacrifice and endure this pain. So God foresaw all the scenarios. And only with the cross it was possible for his reality of goodness, of heaven, of life with God to ever happen. The cross is the future God chose from the beginning for the sake of humanity. That is what salvation is. So when we look to Jesus, we are not looking at the past. We are actually looking at what can become of us. His goodness through us, our future. We have to choose to deny ourselves. That is what love is. That is the call of Jesus. Take up your cross daily. Deny yourselves. And we do this by faith, because faith is the hope of things unseen. Faith is only in the future. Now we know his name is Jesus, and he's the way, the truth, and the life. Do you want to live? Really live? His way is the kingdom where we choose love. We choose compassion. We choose generosity. We become servants. We sacrifice. We choose humbleness. We choose to forgive. What an amazing example of living we have in Christ. There is no life outside of this, and this is what makes any story epic. Otherwise, there is no hope. The cross is always a choice. It's always in the future. The cross is not in the past. So that's the invitation of Jesus, to take up our cross daily, to choose the kingdom ways daily. That's why his mercies are new every day. This is the reality God chose for humankind. What's up, my friends? My name is Beto Gudiño, and this is the Hell No podcast. We want to just talk about important issues that we're all kind of like going through. It might be, movies I've seen, books I've read, and little interesting thoughts that come to my mind every now and then, and just maybe start a conversation. If that sounds kind of something you want to do along with me, I invite you to follow it. I'll have some guests at some point. If you want to be part of this adventure, I invite you to follow the channel, subscribe. Thank you for watching.